Hello, ladies and gentlemen, warlocks and demons, boys and girls. It's me, Kuba, the creator of Project Warlock and Project Warlock 2. And today we have yet again David with us. I think.
Hello. Okay, unmuted.
David's with us. He is our main artist and he is responsible for the graphics in Project Warlock 2. And we also have Enno.
Hello guys, welcome.
Enno is the operator and director of the stream, and he is responsible for the content you guys see. So he is managing everything. And yes, I am very excited to have you guys on yet another stream of Project Warlock 2 live dev. And today we are going to dive a lot deeper into level design. Just like I mentioned in the previous stream, today David is going to show us how he's designing the levels, how he's working with the editor, and how we are going to tackle the new level design in Project Warlock. So it's nice to have you guys here with us. I'm very happy to stream for you together with everyone. So as always, make sure to mark this Thursday's 7 p.m. Central European Time, in your calendars, because we are streaming every week. So if you ever want to watch us, then come by on Thursdays. And apart from that, make sure to follow me on Twitter for the latest news at @PWarlockDev, and make sure to follow David on his Twitter. And so I think we're going to start off with showing you guys how we create levels in Project Warlock 2, how everything is coming to life together. It's a very interesting process which covers a lot of, topics, and today we are going to show you how everything is being created in real time. So I think this is the most interesting thing here. So David, what level are we going to work on today?
This is the level 3. Yeah, this is the part when you have some cemeteries, some churches, some.
David, something
caves.
happened to your microphone actually. It's really low.
Really low. Yes. Okay. How about now? Maybe it was too far away. How about now?
I think it's now a little bit better. Yeah, something happened there.
Something happened.
I don't know. For me, it's okay. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah, there's always something happens in the last moment. Hey, it worked for me fine.
Okay, so we're at level 3. It's like the middle of the first episode, and to give you guys an insight on maybe some stats about this level, here you will have around 400 monsters to kill on the highest difficulty. So that's a lot of carnage you can do, and you can expect this level to be quite huge. And I think this is one of the most important aspects of the level design in Project Warlock 2, right, David?
Oh yeah, you can see a lot more open areas in this game. And it's a lot more complex now. So, for example, when I zoom out, you can see it's currently hidden in a fog, but it gives you quite an idea of the scale of this thing.
Actually, we do have a lot of tools to work with the levels. And for example, in the scene view of the Unity editor, we can enable the visual settings. We can disable them in order to see better how the game looks, and to give us more options to so to say manage the things we see while we make those levels. So currently David is moving around the in-game editor camera so that we can adjust the color palettes and the retro filter when creating the levels. So
yes,
this is, I think, a very interesting thing here, because as you can see on the screen, we have this, so to say, in-game view of the camera, and it contains all of the visual effects that the game has when you're playing. So here you can actually toggle a lot of different settings, and this is how David works with setting the color palette, right? So David, if you could show us how the retro filter works, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's this filter is works like this. We have a set palette of like I think it's 16 colors. that we can overlay on top of this view, because this is
I
how
need
the game
to
looks
interrupt
like.
you for a second, guys. I'm really sorry. Can
Yes.
I ask chat if David is okay with audio volumes? I'm really sorry, but for me, David is really low on audio, and I just want to double check with chat. So, chat, is David okay audio-wise for you? Because Kuba is blasting my ears as always. He's always super hyped, but oh, it's cool. It's cool. Thank you, Yellow Crusher. Okay, I'm not interrupting anymore.
Okay, it's always better to check than to be sorry. Yes, so this is how the game works, how it looks with full color. It doesn't look bad, but going for this particular artistic style, we wanted to stylize it a bit. And we can go, if we go full ham on it, this game can look really, really stylized. But it needs some work to make it look good. Although it can work, you just takes a lot of preparation, a lot of fixing, tweaking, adjusting.
Yeah, so it's not like we're just putting an effect over the screen and we're calling it a day. It's not like that. We're actually refining this effect to make it look as best as possible, so to say.
Yeah, the thing is, even the palette itself, we have like, I don't know if you can see it, we have a ton of them. Every one of them had to be handcrafted and checked if it works. I can even show you around how it could look with different variants of saturation.
So we have a lot of different palettes for different levels, and actually we try to make the palette fit into the design of the level. So it's not like you have only one retro palette fitted onto the whole game and it's ready. No, we actually spend a lot of time on adjusting the colors we need to make those textures really look beautiful. And as you can see on the screen, with each palette, the game gets a completely different look. The green looks more green or less green, and it really makes the game look that much more different, right?
Yeah, an important thing is because we went with, I think we've said this before, but to just reiterate, this is a peculiar art style, because we're using pixel art with limited color palette, fairly low-res textures, and without it, if we add things like lighting, shadows, or the ambient occlusion, the thing that makes all the corners covered in shadows. Let me just this little effect. If I turn it off, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This kind of stuff can look really jarring with pixel art, because you have this pixely effect here, but these shadows are not pixely, and also they have too many colors and too many gradients, and this art style is not very suitable for color gradients. So in order to mitigate the gradients, we apply this color filter. So even if it limits, it adds this kind of is called color banding. Yeah, usually in most cases in games you don't want this, because you want this to look smooth, realistic. For example, if you want to have a fog or a sky look good, you don't want color banding. But with this art style, it actually gives this more comic style look and fits this limited color palette.
Yeah, so again, color banding is what you're talking about, is this sudden change of color instead of one color going smoothly into another, right?
Yeah.
So that everyone understands, correct?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're using a lot of interesting things which normally you would not use in such games, but I think we found our way of combining different cool effects to make the game look special, and this is what we're aiming for. We already have established a cool texture design in Project Warlock 1, and what we're doing here is just expanding on it in every single aspect to make it look better. In Project Warlock 1, you had the option to choose between different color palettes in real time. So you had these Game Boy palettes to choose from and other effects. But the problem with them was that you couldn't really achieve a very, so to say, cohesive look with the game. So we decided to actually blend that into the game to make it look even better. And this is what we're doing right now. So yeah.
Yeah, in the
But-
first game, the color palettes were more like, the additional color palettes were like something curious to check out. But the game wasn't, the art of the game wasn't balanced to support all of them. Although some of them look really nice. It was mostly support, it would support the default palette. And some of them that weren't too extreme.
Yeah, so by the way, as you can see, guys, if you could zoom in on some textures, David, I think you can see a lot of similarities between the art style of Project Warlock 2 versus Project Warlock 1. You still have that comic styled black outlines, which I think define kind of how Project Warlock looks like. And we are still keeping that low resolution pixel art textures, but I think we went a little bit up when it comes to the amount of pixels, right, David? We have a little higher resolutions.
It depends. It depends. I think the size of the pixels is relatively similar, but we just use more of them. We couldn't. It's because I tried increasing the resolution of textures, but the game it had an effect of the general art style, because this art style, like you mentioned, relies on these outlines, big black outlines, and with bigger resolutions, these outlines were just getting smaller and smaller, and wasn't visible enough, and it didn't look like Project Warlock. It
just wasn't
anymore.
the same thing again, right? Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't Project Warlocky enough.
Yeah, true. So I think what we could do is actually, we showed that in previous stream, but to make this comparison even better, could you open older levels to show how we tried to, with higher resolution textures, to show this comparison? So.
Well, yeah.
Just once again, to show you guys the difference, we will just show you what we were trying to achieve, and we actually scrapped that because it did not look enough like Project Warlock, and this was the reason why we actually came back to this resolution and outlines. So we have I really like this level, to be honest. It's a very cool looking level, but it's not the same thing because most of objects don't have these outlines, and they have a lot of high resolution of the textures. So it's not Project Warlock anymore, and I'm glad we did not actually go with this, because that would make the game look it would not look like Project Warlock.
Glitches. I like glitches. Little glitches. Look. Oh. There's
yeah,
one.
we have a funny glitch there.
Yeah.
But could you like zoom in on a texture or something to show the difference
Okay.
a lot more?
Let's make the light, the ambient a little better.
Is it considered like a completed level?
It's a prototype. It was made with a different software.
Yeah. That's the one we were talking about on the last stream, right?
Yeah. This was made with ProBuilder.
Yeah.
Yes, and we explained why we stepped away from ProBuilder compared to the tool we have right now. So
can you sum it up from the last stream? Just sum it up really quickly. Why you changed the tool?
Yes, because with ProBuilder you can like easily prototype a level, but the biggest problem is adding connections to corridors and rooms. For example, I can make. I think I can. I can even show you.
Oh, that would be awesome! Yeah.
Oh,
I want to see that.
This is a ProBuilder cube, and if I want to make a level with this, I can extrude it very easily.
So actually, ProBuilder is very easy to start working with, and it's a very simple tool.
Oh, let me just change. Oh, here you can move around here. I want to have this room bigger. Make it bigger. Extrude it from this side. Now, the problem with ProBuilder is when I want to make a door, okay, I can do it like this. I make a short corridor. Make it go all the way here.
So like David said, it's basically all about, maybe not all about, but one of the most important thing are the corridors. And here is the issue.
Yeah, and this is the thing. If I want to make a linear level, it's no problem. But the moment I want to go back and make a second entrance, now I have to carve it manually from here, and it's a whole process. I have to do it like this.
It takes a lot of time.
Remove this segment. I have to remove this segment. But now, these points are a total mess. And I have to work either with grid or with... it's a hell of adjustment. And with every window, with every door, and with every other detail that I need to do this, it's a constant pain. You can do it, but it slows down the whole process.
Well, David, guess what? We have someone on the chat who just said that he's using ProBuilder for his current game, but he just found out about CSG and what it is. So I think Choco Cheese, it's great that you're here with us because you will learn today all the differences between ProBuilder and CSG, and David will also show you how CSG works better than ProBuilder for our needs. Maybe not everyone's needs, but for our needs, CSG is just a way better tool. So you'll see the difference. So as you can see, that was the main problem with ProBuilder, is adding additional corridors, doors, and changing the layout of the levels and creating basically non-linear levels, right? So in Project Warlock 2, we also want to make the levels less linear, add a little bit of exploration to it, a little bit more exploration.
I just want to drop a disclaimer too. I'm really sorry, Kuba, but I'm gonna just drop a really quick disclaimer. Guys, just remember to have in mind that every project is different. And and game development is evolving day from day, year from year. So even if you consider yourself a master at something, believe me, half a year later you're gonna still learn new things, new tricks, everything new. So please consider David as a master of crafts, but he's learning too. Everyone is learning.
Oh, I do.
We are learning all the time.
Yeah, like I said, we were using ProBuilder for this game initially because I didn't know about CSG back then, and even when I knew about it, I was a bit afraid to start learning a new thing because I was pretty familiar with ProBuilder back then. And when I'm not saying it's a bad software, bad tool. It has its uses. For example, I still model the enemies for the game and the weapons using the ProBuilder. So because I'm just that familiar with it. But I just personally find it more convenient and more suitable for this particular game to use the CSG. Now, the difference. Okay, now we can show. We did it in the previous stream, but okay, to just recap.
We have another question, David, from the chat. We have a question about the pixel size. Is it cohesive throughout the game? Like I think it's about the amount of pixel in textures per monster per textures.
We at least try to make it consistent. That's another thing that's pretty useful with CSG. When you set texture size, stays consistent no matter what you do with the wall or the texture. So let me just turn on the tool again. No matter what you do with it, if you scale it, if you reduce the size, it will always, the pixel size, stay consistent.
Yeah, so that was another problem in ProBuilder, the texture stretching. We talked about that too, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I would like to say hello to everyone who just joined the stream. Sorry. It's nice to have you guys here.
Yes, hello.
please don't die, Kuba. Hello? What was that?
Yes, I don't know. Something's in my throat. Yeah, so I think we can actually carry on with doing the stuff that we have planned for this stream. So we actually, guys, wanted to show you not only the difference between the Pro Builder and CSG, but we also wanted to actually show you how we create levels in Project Warlock. And David has something for you prepared today.
How did that get you?
So yeah, we have
You-
one decoration
Get back
outside
here.
of the level.
Get over here.
Yeah. So David, what have you planned for us today?
We will build a part of the level and show you how we do about things here. So, like I demonstrated a moment ago, if you want to... The thing that was very important to us was to make levels conveniently. So if you want, for example, to backtrack or make another connection to a previously established room, I can just do this like this.
Yeah, so this is actually something what is actually not possible in Pro Builder, and I think this is one of the best features in CSG. Here we are working with so-called brushes, right, David?
Yes.
So these are like parts of the model which you can move around, and they, so to say, interact with other brushes in real time, and you can go really crazy with them. And this is what makes level design in Project Warlock easier for us and better to look at for you. So it has a lot of, so to say, advantages for everyone. And this is why we are using CSG instead of Pro Builder. For our project, it fits our needs way better. And as Eno mentioned, it really depends on the game you're making. If you're working on other projects, maybe Pro Builder will fit your needs better. But for us, CSG is really good framework, and that's why we're using it. So I really want to say that again. Each project has its own needs, and you really have to you have to know that you just cannot blindly follow anyone who just says something on the internet. If someone says this tool is better than the other, it's not true actually. So it really depends on the things you're working on. And yeah, let me look at the chat real quick here. Hello, Civi. It's nice to have you with us. I'm very happy that you're here. So, yeah, David, what are you doing right now?
Yeah. For some of you that have some ideas, have some experience with 3D modeling, you might be wondering, why am I constantly copying and pasting these parts of the level instead of just extruding it? It's because the way we do things here, we work with a texture atlas. So every texture here is part of the same graphic. So they are all aligned next to each other. And if I extrude it like this, I will be able to see all the textures that are in the level. We do it for, how do you say, optimization.
Yeah, it's for optimization purposes. And
Yeah.
basically, that's one of the biggest problems of Project Warlock, which we did not know back then, but we learned a lot over the years. And this is why we are using texture atlases right now, which we did not use in Project Warlock. So with this new knowledge, we can actually improve the performance of the game in a big, so to say, way. And actually, David, I think it would be a good idea to show such an atlas in Paint, or I don't know, or in some.
I can do it here. I can do it here.
No, or yeah, you can do it here. So
yeah. Oh, I can just open it from here.
So let's talk about the process of making such atlas. Basically, what you do is you just create, from what I understand, David, a lot of textures, and then you just pack them into one file, right?
Yeah. Although it takes some figuring out how to place these textures so they work best in game, because it's like, if I want to have, for example, have higher walls, then I can have a different style of walls in each level, in each brush, without having to copy and paste and make another segment of it. For example, if I do, sorry, I wasn't supposed to switch between windows. I hope I didn't break anything.
No, that's all right. Everything is okay.
It's all right.
Okay, like for example here, this I have a brick wall. If I extrude it here, I have this wooden part. If I go a bit higher, I have this stone part. And I can intelligently use this in game. I don't have to create another block and align these textures. I can use what's already there. So it's very helpful, and it helps me to save some time. If I want to have a texture from another part of the atlas, I just need to move the texture around. Oh, and have, for example, this kind of texture, and then just.
And what's so crazy about this is how, just like someone mentioned on the chat, Oshust 002, it really, when you watch it, it really looks simple. And I think this is one of the biggest advantages of this tool is within, like, I don't know, 20 minutes, we already created a lot of new areas for this part of the level. And I think this is what makes this tool so useful. It allows us to create levels efficiently without wasting time on unnecessary work, like connecting edges and stuff like that, because this is what took a lot of time in Project Warlock 1 and in Pro Builder when David was prototyping the levels. So it really is a time saver, so to say. And
in the first game, everything was made in Pro Builder, and Kuba had to do it all by himself, and he hates doing level design.
Yes, so, I hate it.
Yeah. So, and I couldn't help him because we didn't have the workflow, the pipeline, or even the internet connection to support.
And the experience. That's
and the experience. Yeah. So, as you can see, I can easily connect parts of the levels that are in different places. So if I want to have a secret place, secret connection, I can do it easily. And
I think, David, what just happened on the screen right there is a very cool, so to say, way of showing how CSG works, because we just removed by an accident half of the room, but then we just scaled the size of the brush of this part of the new room, and suddenly we have all the staircases and everything back at its place. So you can actually cover one room with the other, so to say, and to create new rooms, and that's the best thing about it. Hello, Caspius, nice to have you here with us.
Yeah. So I skipped some of the basics of how this tool works. Okay, so this is a brush. And the way this brush works, it subtracts from the level, because you can think of the level like it's a sculpture, and you're just sculpting parts of it away, or adding. You can also add to it. Let's turn it to mode addition, and now this brush will be adding geometry. So it will be filling the empty spaces. And you can, and with.
I like how I'm feeling talking with David, like I'm feeling with talking with Da Vinci or something like that. how he presents the level design. I really like that.
Yeah, it's actually mind-blowing, because I'm still learning how I should be using this tool to use it effectively. And for example, if I want to have a room with some details, like nice walls, so it won't be flat or something, I don't have to tweak and adjust geometry of each room individually. I can just, let's say I like this section. Okay, let me just select it, all the brushes that go into this selection.
And this is crazy, guys. So just watch it.
Okay.
This is crazy.
Okay. Now I have to. I think I just have to do it. Okay. Let's. Okay. I have to create real time. I have to create an operation. This is like a container. Let's call it room. Container for these brushes. I have to select them again because I'm stupid and I messed up.
We have a question on the chat, but I'll come back to it in a second, Caspius. So
Okay.
don't worry. We'll tackle this
Screw.
topic soon.
Okay. So and handle as one object. Okay. So now when I click it, it auto selects everything. And now if I just copy and paste this room. Okay, maybe let's do it again. Copy paste. Okay, can everyone see what's going on here?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically,
we can see it. We can see it.
this is mind blowing. You can actually, if you create a certain geometry, you can actually select it. You can, so to say, merge it together, and then you can copy it. And these objects are still interacting with each other, which means you can join multiple rooms you create together to create insane-looking geometry. And this is something which isn't quite possible, and maybe it is possible in other tools, but in this particular use case, it really makes level design that much easier and better looking. So what David just created looks awesome, and it's so complex and interesting that you can't really explain that in 2 words. Just
Yeah,
looking at
it's
it.
best if you just show it, because it's like I'm not using half of these tools most of the time because I'm still too afraid, and I'm still overwhelmed by the power of what you can do with it. I'm just starting to dip my toes in the ocean of possibilities that it gives me.
Yeah, so basically
So-
we have so much freedom here.
Yeah, like you can see, I can make this catacombs like area, and just of course it looks a bit samey now, just because I'm using single set of brushes. But I can do the same, something else, and just start adding details. Like, okay, let's have this, for example.
Yeah, so basically what's missing right now is adding detail and other objects, right? So even if you create this whole room, you still have to add other things, like for example, these. What are these actually? Are these called graves or
I think there are some windows or lights depending on the
windows.
context. Depending on the context, the visuals in Project Warlock are still a bit abstract, and this is so one element can pass for multiple things,
Yes.
more than one thing.
So,
Like-
David, I'm sorry that I'm interrupting you, but we have a question which is still
Yes.
unanswered. Let me take a look again. Someone was asking, Caspius is asking how to make slopes or rounded rooms, and I think that's also
Slopes.
something interesting.
Slopes around the rooms. Okay.
Yeah, I think when it comes to slopes, he means something like stairs, but without the stairs, right?
Yeah. There's a whole tool to make stairs. I'm not really using it because my workflow is a bit different. But you can easily make slopes. Let me just uncheck this thing. You can edit parts of each brush. You can select, if you select a wall, a face of it, you can modify it. But you can also select edges, and you can select the corners, and you can do anything you want with it. There's also a tool, you can also create brushes of different types, like let's generate a sphere, for example.
Oh, and when we're talking about the spheres, we can also talk about the destruction of the environment, so to say. Not in real time, just so you guys don't think that we're adding some real-time destruction, but with spheres you can do really cool things like you would never expect from a sphere. So we actually use it quite often. But David, what can you use such spheres for?
Let me just, I'll answer it right away. Let me just set up a texture for this.
Yeah, so I think what takes most of the time currently in level design is setting up the textures for the brushes, preparing those brushes, and actually aligning the textures correctly. But other than that, creating rooms and then creating whole areas is just very simple, right?
Yeah, it's still, you need to still figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not grass. This is underground, so maybe let's give it some kind of a rocky texture.
Yeah, we could use some rocks here. That would be a good idea.
Let me just select it again. Surface is all selected. Slabs.
Slabs.
Maybe a stone. How? Yeah, the naming. I'm pretty bad with naming conventions. Oh yes, sandstone. Okay, we can have sandstone.
Okay, that's
This will work. Okay, so now we have something that looks like ruins. Let me put some light here. There's no light here.
Oh, it looks with lightning. It looks much better.
Yeah,
I mean, I just love it.
Let's put on some light. Let's borrow a light from here and just copy paste it.
Yeah, so when it comes to light, we also try to use it to our advantage to create a cool atmosphere in the levels. And we are actually combining lights with dark ambient to make a very, very cool atmospheric parts of the levels, like you can see right here. David just added fog, darkened the ambient light, and added some lights in certain areas to make this look cool and atmospheric. And this, as you can, guys, just look at it. This looks just so cool.
Let's see how it looks in game. Let's bring a camera here.
And yes, as just Civi said on the chat, make it the fact that these brushes automatically connect when you move them is just black magic, right? It's really awesome.
It's pretty much magic. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so awesome that everything is still intact and those textures stay in place. This is just mind-blowing how this tool works, and I think we have to give a huge shout out to the creators of this tool because it's just amazing.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a creator, but he works on this. His handle is Logical Error on Twitter. You can still say hi to him and give him thanks for this amazing tool. I know he's working on another tool with a bunch of other people. It's called Chisel, and it should have a much more functionality than this, even more than this. So these guys were also very helpful, helping me trying to figure out this tool.
I don't see any logical errors in here. Everything seems to work and be full of logic, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. This tool also has some quirks. You have to find some workarounds depending on what is your workflow and what kind of levels you want to make. So it's still not perfect. There are no perfect tools. There's just like we said before. You might go build a game, have a game where it turns out a Pro Builder or some other tool like French Broom, which is pretty similar to. I heard it's pretty similar to CSG. It works some similar way. Well, a lot of people use French Broom. We use this because it's integrated into Unity, and it's just easier for us to have as much tools in one workspace as possible.
Yeah, so we are also trying to make our workflow easier, and we are not, so to say, throwing logs under our legs. I don't know if such a phrase exists, but we are trying to make our job as simple as possible, so that we can focus on creating the best possible game. And we are not trying to, use fancy stuff. We're just trying to make everything as easy for us as possible, right?
Let's add a house.
Yeah, let's add a house.
Yeah. Oh, come on here. Get over here. And
so with CSG, you can actually also, like we mentioned before, you can create prefabs.
Oh my god, what happened here? It collapsed. Oh my god, it was an there was an earthquake here. It collapsed.
Yeah. So this is just crazy.
Yeah.
I love that.
Let's straighten it out. Rotation 0, 0, 0. This is one of the quirks. When I rotate, it tends to sometimes to run away from me.
I think it has to do something with the pivot point, right? But
yeah, I didn't fully figure out how. But there also might be that this tool is conflicting with other tools in Unity, because they sometimes share some of the hotkeys and some other functionalities. So this might be the problem. Okay, so I have a house. This is a house I made for a different level. I made it into a prefab, and now I can just throw it in any level I want. You can go inside. Yeah. I made it too small. So what if I want to make it bigger? Well, I can make just another house.
So
it's a bit.
What's cool about you can just.
It's a bit hacky. It's a bit hacky way of doing things, but normally I would just extrude. I need to make a simple room, and just add to it, just like I added the catacombs. But even now you can see that it sort of works. Let's make it.
Yeah, the pivot points are sometimes pain in the ass. And
let's try going ham on it and just increase it, and you see what happens when the atlas is stopped to align with the models anyway. Let's have fun. Hey, we're here to have fun. Let's just have fun.
Yeah.
Where did it? Oh my god, I flattened it.
I think the scale turned upside down.
Oh my god, yeah. It's. I constantly need to remind myself to split the level into smaller parts, because with many brushes, it starts to lag a bit.
For the editor, right?
Yeah, and I think I might have killed it.
Oh, it's. I think it's
okay, let's delete this. Delete this.
Yeah, but to what you just, David, said, I want to point out that this is a, so to say, very optimized way for the game itself. It's only lagging in the editor, but in game there is no performance problem at all. Not that you guys suddenly think that the game is not optimized. We are actually giving a lot of thought when it comes to the optimization of the game, and this is one of the most important things for us, to make Project Warlock 2 as optimized as possible. And please keep that in mind.
I like how before the live, Kuba just said to me, yeah, interrupt us, and you can talk with us, you can say something, and I'm sitting here watching David do all the magic, and I'm still considering if he's a true warlock and what is he doing. Because it's all magic to me.
Yeah, so we are actually, maybe we are warlocks, who knows.
You know, one of the most amazing things about it is normally if I just put a house on a scene in Unity and put another one and tried to have only a part of the house visible, like from a wall, there would be a lot of hidden unnecessary geometry just sticking around like here. But as you can see, only the only geometry I can see is the indoors, is the interior. All the exterior walls are cooled, hidden. So they do not have to render during game or even in editor. I think it might be even easier if I show it on a simple cube. Okay, so let's just take a simple cube.
So to say, CSG makes it so that there are less visual errors with, so to say, when you create stuff, there's a lot of human errors
Lost.
to that, right?
I'm lost. Where
You're-
did I? Where is the exit? Oh, here's the exit. Okay.
Yeah, here it is. But as I said,
the exit.
there's a lot of human error when we create levels, but in CSG, since everything connects automatically and the brushes interact with each other, even if you forget something at one single place, you won't notice that because everything connects to each other automatically and there are no issues with floating geometry or stuff like that. Right, David?
Mm-hmm.
Did I
Or
miss
everything
works
on
cutting
itself.
stuff out by David, like doing the huge archways or
okay.
something? Did I missed it, or
I figure.
you
I
did
figured it
something
out.
like that?
Can you repeat that?
Did like an archway cut out from the wall or something like that, and I missed it, or
Ah, yes, true. You did not show anything like that yet.
like cutting stuff out from the
Oh yeah,
build
I
we're doing?
can. I can cut stuff out. Okay, let me show you right here.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Let's just. I think that's
I was really
complete.
considering if I have like a goldfish memory for like 5 seconds.
Generate. Yes. Okay, I can generate this.
No, I really want to
And
see
just-
this.
and just cut it out. I'll do. Okay. Restart. No, hold. I need a flat area. Okay, that's here. Let's make a door.
To make it more
That-
simple.
Yes. Let's. For example, this was blown up by some bomb explosion.
Mind blown.
And just apply texture.
This is crazy. I really love that. It's
The fun fact is, it looks so simple when David is doing that, but
Yeah.
I can assure you, I'm gonna sit right now and try to recreate something that David is doing right now on the screen,
Yeah.
and we can see it in a year or
Ta-da!
something like that.
You've blown up. You can turn this into a secret place, because you can still recover this part. You just make a copy of it and make it an addition
And change
instead
the
of
texture
subtraction,
or something
and
like that.
just move the texture from this here using a GK. Holding GK, you just
Oh, and you can create like a trigger or something to remove.
Yeah,
that
and then
one,
we
right?
can do something like that. If you shoot it or something explodes near it, then it can disappear. Particle
Yeah.
effects can play, and you have, so to say.
That's so damn cool.
Yeah, and look, it took us like, I don't know, 2 minutes to make, and this is just awesome. So yeah.
I'm waiting for David to say, "Is this your card?" So much magic today on today's stream. Wow.
I think what we also, it would be cool if we also showed how we add decorations to the levels, because one of the principal things for us in level design is not only cool geometry but also 2.5D art style, that is 3D geometry and flat sprite decorations. So we combine 3D and 2D with billboarding, and this is what creates our art style, so to say.
yeah. Normally, if a decoration already exists in a level and it's somewhere nearby, I can just duplicate it, copy paste it, move it around, or I can just use the file with all my decorations. Like, oh, I want a banner here. No, not this kind of banner. I want a banner. Banner. My naming conventions are atrocious. I thought okay, wall banner. Yes, this is how I called a hanging banner. Yes.
It's a
I'm
little
really-
bit too wide for that wall, though.
Some of them are turning. When you look at them, following the camera, some of them are not. So you can, for example, hang them on walls, and they always be facing one direction.
Yeah,
not the
so
band.
we have
Not the music band.
One Direction. Yeah, so we have a couple of types of sprites. We have those that billboard and those that don't billboard. So that also adds a lot of interesting visual fidelity to the game. I think the best way to show it would be just to show how the woods look like, or the forest, because there we use both
The
types of
forest.
sprites. Yeah, we use for some tree some things turn around
yes.
together with the camera, and some things just hang from the ceiling or from the walls. And
Yeah, we even made Kuba even made it that they follow the camera in the editor, so they
Yeah.
are billboarding as we speak.
and this was a cool feature which I implemented for us, so that we can always see what's inside the level. Because previously I did not have something like this, and it was just way harder because you could not see everything when you were editing. You had to rotate the camera to find the right angle to see the sprite. But now everything is visible in the editor for us.
This is, for example, this is not billboarding because this supposed to be in this position always.
Yes.
And also this spike weed, as I call
It
it.
doesn't creep you out, because I'm always creeped out when I move the camera or like run really fast in the game and the tree is turning with me, or like the rocks. It always creeps me out because it's like observing you. Like, what is he doing? The rock turning with you.
It's good that the trees don't have eyes, then it would be more creepy, right?
I will make trees with eyes.
God,
Yeah, with
please,
glowing
no.
red eyes.
Yeah, we need to do this. We
No,
need
no,
to
no, it's
make
cursed.
You know,
decorations.
blinking red eyes.
Oh my
I remember
God.
some games had this feature.
That's
cursed.
genius, man.
Don't.
I think.
please.
Wait. Did you guys play Commander Keen? I hope you did, right?
No. I didn't have a PC computer back when in 1993.
Well,
and before.
in Commander Keen, you had those trees which had eyes, and they blinked and moved around. So that was very cool at that time.
Well, in Super Mario, everything has friggin' eyes.
And the Mario was one of the inspirations for Warlock, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
what we
the
just found
piping-
out.
With the piping of the sewers.
Here you can see. I was talking about this. Here is, for example, this is a house that has no interior, no indoor area. It is just a mock-up of a house for just to have something visually different. And in the place it reaches the wall, it doesn't. It just disappears. There is no unnecessary geometry. Let me show you.
Oh, that's
Here?
the good way to show it.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
how much wasted area would have to be rendered if this wasn't the case.
That there is one thing which is still
Yeah, there's
rendered.
one. Oh, yes. For example, this is one thing. And,
Oh, but that's from another brush.
yeah. But like, okay, adjust it
Fixed.
and fixed, and it's fixed. Yeah. So because sometimes you just want a decoration, you don't need to render everything or even have it inside.
When it comes to optimization, we also, as I said, this is very important for us. So nothing unnecessary is rendered, and we also have a better implementation of occlusion cooling. I think that's what it's called. And that way the game works way better when it comes to performance and frame rates. So you can expect from Project Warlock to way better frames, and the game should run on even but more smooth on the hardware you guys have. So yeah.
Yeah, but the biggest part is the game isn't rendering as many things on the screen at one time, because the more elements it has to render, the longer it takes. And this was, I think this was the huge problem in the first game. Like right now, in a level like this, I can have a tool to show you.
I actually have a question to you, David. Like, because I'm mainly a player, right? I'm a gamer by heart, by hobby, by work, and by fun. So it's one of the rare occasions that you can really speak with a level designer. So I have a question to you. When you design a level, that needs to have secrets, right?
Yes.
How hard is to hide the hidden stuff?
Well, it's very easy to hide it, but it's not. It's harder to hide it in a smart way. So
That's what I'm
so,
asking. That's what I'm asking. How
Yeah.
hard it is to hide something in a level from the player? You know that. Did you ever hid something that wasn't supposed to be leaked by a player or something like that? That they discover something playing?
Okay, I can't really answer that question because I haven't had many people play my levels yet. And
That's
Kuba,
true.
and Kuba, when he plays my levels, he can just cheat and just see everything in the editor. I cannot answer this question yet. We need to wait for more people to do some blind playthroughs. And I will need to see how they play, what they do, and I will be able to tell them.
Okay.
Yes, but when we are talking about secrets in Project Warlock 2, you can expect much more interesting secrets. In Project Warlock 1, you could only like push the buttons. I mean, you could push the walls and stuff. In Project
There will be
Warlock
no
2,
wall humping here.
no
Yeah.
wall humping anymore, guys. We have a
Yeah.
lot of interesting things for you, and you really have to look around this time.
Yeah, because wall humping is not fun, and I watched so many playthroughs when people were just humping the whole friggin' level, and my gracious, let's never do this again.
I like the term from Dark Souls is actually wall licking.
Wall licking. Oh.
Yeah, the wall licking.
Okay, do you want to see how the game renders a scene? One frame from a scene, step by step. Can we show it?
How would you show it? I mean,
There is a tool. There is
okay.
a tool.
Yeah, frame debug. That's true.
Frame
but
debug.
I'm not
And I
sure
can-
that. Wait, can you do it right now in the?
I can do it right now. Currently,
true.
to render one frame from the game, the renderer has to draw 383 times in a single frame. Let's multiply it from whatever frame rate you are targeting.
Times 60, time 144,
Yeah.
etc.
This is first step, this is 4 steps, and step by step you can see that it's adding stuff in, adding lighting, normal
Ambient
maps,
occlusion, the
ambient
effect.
occlusion, the effect. This, now it's drawing stuff that's hidden, or just far away. Like you see monsters are appearing. Even more. Yeah. And it takes about 380 steps to draw this one single frame. In Project Warlock 1, how many steps would it take?
Oh, I'm not sure, but definitely it was such, so to say.
Several thousands?
Yeah, maybe. So we had a lot of, definitely a lot of problems in the area of performance. But we learned a lot, and everything we learned, we have taken into account, I can assure you, for Project Warlock 2. And we really want to show you guys how much we care about the optimization of the game. So, yeah, yet again, I really want to make sure that you guys know that optimization is our number one priority. By the way, I just forgot that I have to say, everything you guys see on the screen is work in progress. And it's not final. We are still working on stuff.
Kuba said it. After so many streams and outtakes, he said it himself. I'm so
I always
proud.
forget to say that. I'm sorry.
They grow
Well,
so
I think it's a
fast.
given. Like, I personally want to adjust many aspects of the levels, because they look nice, but it doesn't look as nice as I believe I can make it look. So if I only figure out how to do it, this should look at least 2 times better.
But can you make me look nice? Because
Oh, I know. I'm not sure if that's possible.
yeah, because I was planning to making a joke like, you know, you need to have a plastic surgeon precision while making the levels. So maybe David is capable. My face
maybe
is just
he
not.
is.
Well, it's not as precise as you would imagine. I'm not even. We can talk about it.
Hello
some other
there, guys
stream.
who just joined the chat.
Yeah, we can talk it about details like this in some other stream, because I don't think we have much time for today.
We have definitely a lot of things to cover, and
Yeah.
guys, this
there
is
is
going
so
to be an
much.
interesting trip with
And
you.
we are just scratching the surface here, really.
Yeah, so we have a lot of interesting things to talk about. We want to really get deep into the development of the game so that you know how this game is being created, and we will cover definitely a lot of cool topics in the future. There was only one question which I wanted to answer, but maybe not a question, but like a concern. Mr. Affluenza said that the magic spells in Project Warlock 1 were not as useful for him as they should be. So I want to assure you that we took that into account for Project Warlock 2, and we know that there was a huge, so to say, concern when it comes to spells. You had to choose between buying the spells or the weapon upgrades. Well, this time around, we are actually using a lot of spells as cooldown utilities, and therefore it's an incentive to use them. You can use them when the cooldown, so to say, reaches zero, and that way you can use them every time, and you don't have to worry about wasting mana. So you're definitely going to have more spells and more fun in Project Warlock 2 when it comes to that. And we really want to make this an incentive for you guys. So I think it's time to wrap things up, as they say, for today. I'm very happy that you guys joined us. David showed a lot of cool things when it comes to the basics of how we use the CSG
And we built a house.
framework. Yeah, we built a house.
We built a house.
David is currently fixing the textures.
We built a pure excuse of a house, to be precise.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to ask me on Twitter or on Discord. We have a special Discord for Retrovibe. You can go there and we can have a chat about the game in the meantime between the streams. We are streaming every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central European Time, so make sure to mark that in your calendar if you like the stream. We are streaming every week, as I said, and make sure to join us next week if you had fun. We are going to talk about a lot of cool stuff. We have planned a lot of cool things for you.
Remember, guys, there is a wish list
Twitter.
for Project Warlock 2 on Steam. You can add it to your wish list and have notifies with all the news that are dropping on Steam page of the game. And there is a Kickstarter.
Sure to add the Kickstarter project to your list of following up what you follow.
Oh my god!
Exactly.
Notice list or something like that.
Guys, I think I accidentally made a level 4 cruelty squad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, this looks abstract.
I don't know how to.
Yeah.
Is it flipped or something?
It's.
I did not even notice when that happened.
Yeah. But how?
I think I made a little big house. A little too big house. That's a bit too big, and then I just made it so it interacts with goddamn everything.
Oh no.
Oh my god. So yeah.
Okay, I
Thank
can
you
fix
guys
it.
for watching.
I can fix it, I think.
David is going to fix this in the meantime.
For the whole next week.
For the next week.
Oh, this time will be mean. Yes.
Oh, you have a lot of work now, David. You have to fix the level. Yeah, so
that will be all probably from us today.
For today, we talked about a lot of things, but still not about everything. So make sure to mark 7 p.m. Central European Time Thursdays in your calendar for Project Warlock 2 every week. It was awesome, guys, to have you here with us. Very happy. And thank you, David, for joining us. Thank you, Enno, for being here too.
As always, no problemo.
As always, we are going to see us on the next one. So see you guys.
Bye.
It was awesome. Thanks.